is changing. The world, like any other thing, is not the same.
Just recently, I had somebody ask me,
it's changed and rearranged.
I guess, who am I? What the fuck am I about? Why do I act the way I do and shit? So, and I told him, I was like, man, look, I live my life
on feet, on hands,
for me.
On brains. Great change, the world is changed.
I'm a true believer in, I guess, taking care of oneself.
Because their minds
I think that
the world is changed. Wise
we a lot of times neglect ourselves.
Churches under strain. Wholesome lives are slain, the world has changed.
So,
Kings brought the shame, righteous ways are lame.
You know what?
Man is not surprised,
I'm never gonna die.
I'm
never gonna live. I'm just gonna be.
The world has changed,
and I'll be the best at what I am.
With the devil do we hang. It ain't no thing,
the world has changed. Long as it's suitable
conditions getting worse. All we have is pain. The world has changed.
It gets really deep sometimes. Me, a person like myself, who am I or what the fuck I'm about? Because I'm not, I don't know, I don't have the, that same system of values that I guess makes a lot of individuals believe that they are in love or they hate something. I've made those comments before, but I've never really truly appreciated the emotion that is I guess behind those comments, things like I hate you or I love you, I like you, things like that. I probably only really said them just because of the fact that it seems so normal, and I guess that's what everyone else here is doing. As I've gotten older, I've come to learn that I guess I consider myself kind of like a star child. I feel indifferent all the time, even if somebody's telling me that the sky is, looking outside, the sky's blue. I could sit there and argue that for days and days and days. And while, yes, deep down, everyone knows scientifically the sky is not blue, but I'm not even talking about on the scientific level. I'm just talking about the fact that I just don't mind arguing about something that more or less looks like it really is this. I could argue with you all day that salt does not taste like salt. Just because I don't have a problem with, I guess, involving myself in things that aren't really that important. I look at life to be the same way. Most of the stuff that we do in life are just like those arguments that I was talking about. It's kind of like the whole salt thing. Our lives are that argument. And sometimes we like to believe that the argument that we're having is very important, and a lot of times it's probably just only important to you. And then even though it's important to you, it's probably not even really that much important to you, but it just depends on the moment and how well it's going, how well that feeling of importance will benefit you. You have people all the time who, they will argue something to death, and it's not even something that even pertains to them. People argue about politics, people argue about football teams, football games. These people aren't even involved in this stuff, but a lot of times they find themselves arguing over, I guess the opinion, I guess, about who's right or wrong. So, this little process, in my opinion, it relates to our very existence in the sense that we're, everything's pretty much the same, but there are so many different options of that similarity that a lot of times it's hard to consciously grasp. So what we try to do is, we pick a couple of those similarities and we stick with them. We create that comfort zone, and then that's where we operate. So when I hear somebody say, well, what they want to be when they grow up and things like that, or just like I was saying before, when someone asks me, who are you, what are you about? It's almost like they're asking me to pick within, I guess, a number of similarities about this argument or this reality, this life, whatever, and sit there and expect me to boil myself down to, or expect a child to boil themselves down to just this, this range of ideas, when in actuality the question being posed to me in reality is a slap in my face. There is no way in hell I could possibly just pick out what I want to be and then just say it and claim that it's the truth. Because for the most part, tomorrow it might change. Or it's just for what I want to be, what I want to be, who I am. I can't even do that, you know. I can sit there and say that my name is Brian, but the thing is, there are billions of names out here, and I have the right to claim either of them. I could say my name is Brian. I could say my name is Heru. I could say my name is Eyes. I could say my name is Africa. I could say my name is Blue Popsicle Red Chili Dobby Doo. Okay, and the thing is, that can be the way that I want people to identify me. So when I hear someone make comments like, well, you know, who are you? You can't just say that. It's got to be more to you. There is more to me. But the thing is, vocabulary-wise, it wouldn't. We'd be here forever talking about who I am. You know. So I ask people a lot of times, be careful with the words, you know, who, you know, and what, and especially where. And while they are very important on a physical level, on a mental level, a spiritual level, and even on a social level, and emotionally also. I mean, on these planes that aren't things that we can't, the unseen, on the unseen levels, okay? Who, what, and where are nothing. Okay? They mean shit. Exactly shit. They ask you to identify a certain position within that unseen level or that unseen realm, but at the same time, there's so many positions in that unseen realm that why would you even think to even put some sort of a physical question on it? You know, emotions are like our thoughts, and they're triggered by thoughts or whatever, and manipulated by our surroundings and things. So emotions will change. Your thoughts will change. Your emotions will change. You know, you may have been married for the past 28 years, but I can guarantee you there were times during your marriage that you questioned dealing with the person you're dealing with. And it is not because, and it has nothing to do with them, it has something to do with you. Because you're an emotional being, so where your emotions are so they're scattered. So there's no real pinpoint unless you're actually taking in consideration this particular moment. And then this moment, you can't really describe this moment because as you're speaking about this moment is passing, becoming the past. So, those words like who, what, and where, you know, things like that, they are so far away from describing or even pinpointing who, what, and where we are, you know, as you know, as far as on the unseen plane, you know, I mean, they don't capture what the essence that is being, you know, they don't capture that. The shame, righteous ways are lame. Man is not surprised by acts unexplained. The world has changed. If you're asking me who I am because you want to find out a little piece of yourself, I would say the better question, or not even asking me who I am, but I mean asking anyone who they are. You know, and it's usually to find out something for yourself. The bigger question might need to be posed is who am I? You know, when you meet someone for the first time, you know, we have a tendency to just wonder, you know, okay, yeah, who's this person? Okay, yeah. But in reality, what we're really doing is finding out more about ourselves. You see, because when I meet you for the first time, I have to look into myself and see if I can accept this person. You see, it's not about who you are, it's whether or not I can accept you. You see, it's not about what you are, it's about whether or not I can establish that bond with you that would allow us to take it further. So I could care less about who you are, about what your name is, or what people call you, okay? And I could care less about where you are, because I understand that regardless of where you are, we came together at some point, so you must be within a vicinity that allows you and I to, conversate or just, come together however we choose.
The world is changed. The price is high for rains of grain, and there are chains on feet, on hands, on brains. Great chains, the world is changed. Family values broken out of frame. Men are framed, named insane because their minds are out of frame. The world is changed. Wise men deranged. Fathers